Pathmark is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmark qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmark to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmark.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Ian Roderick from Kenjo, head of marketing with them. How are you doing today, Ian?
Good. Very, very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Great to have you on. And well, Ian, I'm sure our listeners are tuning in, wondering what Kenjo is all about. So in your own words, tell us a little bit more.
Yep, sure. Absolutely. So Kenjo is a workforce management software for deskless teams. So we do all of the backend HR stuff. We also do shift planning, time tracking, and communications all in a single app. And we are geared specifically then towards companies with large percentages of people who work outside of the office. So not people like you and me who sit looking at a computer all day, but people who are out and about. Think retail, think restaurants, think healthcare, care industry, and those kind of companies.
Okay, perfect. And so then that way our listeners to get a good understanding there of Kenjo, what would you say is that key problem that you guys like to solve for clients?
The key problems that we like to solve for problems is typically the old way of doing things. Companies in our ICP have an HR tool, they have a shift planning and time tracking tool, and they have a worker communication tool. So workers are communicating on their phone, they're tracking their time somewhere else, and they're requesting vacation time, sick leave, and so on in another tool. Essentially what we do is we bring those three things together. So instead of just three different tools that everybody has to manage, both from the admin side and the employee experience side, you just have one. It means that you're saving a lot more time, reducing errors, and of course, making it more likely that your employees are actually entering and using the app in the first place.
Definitely important. Okay. And you did mention a couple of verticals there. So would that be the verticals that you guys like to focus on more? Retail, restaurants, healthcare, or is there another ICP that you guys like to go for?
Yeah, exactly. So deskless teams, generally speaking, but really our key focus areas are retail, actually manufacturing. So think factory floor type companies, and then healthcare and social care. So think hospitals, nursing homes, or also then mobile care companies, nurses who are going and visiting people at their homes.
Okay, perfect. And so say I was in the manufacturing business, right? How would I usually find out about Kenjo? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
We're a 90% inbound company, so we're really inbound led. And when thinking about the channels that we have used, it's all about Google. So it's paid search and also then organic search. So we spend a lot of time doing performance marketing. We also spend a lot of time on SEO type topics.
Okay, perfect. All right. And so that way our listeners who are tuned in go and visit you guys. They could always check you guys out at kenjo.io. What role then does a website play for client acquisition?
Website is key. It's our store. It's our storefront. It's everything for us. Every piece of revenue that Kenjo has ever made has come through that storefront, come through the website. And it's really absolutely crucial to do a number of key things on your website. You have to, A, tell people what we do, and B, explain why we're better potentially than the competitors.
Okay, I love like that. So then on that note then, is there any types of tools or methods or strategies that you like to use to generate some website lead generation?
So we have two key components, I would say, of our website strategy at the moment. So one is research. Yeah, so we're spending a lot of time now thinking about our website as a digital product. So I think a lot of marketing teams kind of just make the website once, kind of keep throwing things on the shelves, using the store analogy, keep adding things, taking things away, without really looking at the data as a holistic experience from the analytics side. And then the second thing is we use experimentation tools. One of the tools that we use is called VWO, that helps set up A/B testing and funnel analytics.
Definitely important. Okay. And let's switch gears a little bit then, Ian, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the head of marketing there for Kenjo, what are some key tasks you'd like to focus on your day-to-day work?
For me, it's really important. So we're a relative, the team at Kenjo has been growing quite a bit over the past 6 months. So I'm relatively new. I came in at the beginning of the year, and it was one of my tasks to help the marketing team grow. So it's building the team, figuring out what we should be doing, how can we scale our efforts, what types of skills profiles and personality profiles should we be hiring. The second thing is Kenjo has been around for a couple of years. Now it's the time when we need to start scaling our growth channels. So if we were looking at inbound, what other channels, inbound type channels can we be looking at? Should we be paying more attention to social media, for example? Should we be going to conferences, for example? So it's really doing a lot of customer research to try to understand how to scale our acquisition efforts.
Okay, like that. So then, sounds like you have a busy day there. How do you like to stay up to date then with all the news in the marketing world as far as trends, strategies? Is there a preferred channel that you like to go with?
Yeah, so this is a great question. So I'm a podcast junkie. So podcasts like Path Monk, yeah. I listen to a number of them. I also spend quite a bit of time on LinkedIn, maybe even more time than I should be, scrolling through all of the amazing free content that some of the leading experts in the field are putting out. And also I do some more formal training and formal courses at specifically a company called Reforge, which has great product and marketing courses. So really a combination of all of those. Plus, every once in a while, of course, I read books.
Yeah, okay, like that, love it. All right, and well, let's jump into our next section then here, Ian, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
Ready, let's do it.
All right, first off then is, what is the last book that you read?
Good question. Yeah, so The Next CMO, great book. I recommend all marketing people read it. It talks quite a bit about how to take all of the ideas from your head as a marketing person and put them into a plan that you can report on, track, and deliver results on. I think one key problem that the authors of that book identified is that CMOs, typically very creative people. I think as marketers, we're creative people, but maybe we have a little bit of trouble organizing those ideas and getting them out into the world. And the Next CMO really helps us take those ideas and implement them and turn them into business results.
Definitely. All right, great book there for everybody in the marketing world. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Next up then is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
I'd love AI to take the analytical load away from me. I'd love to just export all of the data that I have from all of my tools, all of the channel tools, all of the website information, all of the CRM information, combine it, and then tell me what I should be doing. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if the implications for humanity on that respect are good, if we're all just doing what AI is telling me. But really being able to take all of this different kinds of data, combine it for me, and then draw the key insights from it.
All right, interesting, like that. Next then is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
Also on that reporting piece of it, so we report on quite a few different channels. And if I want to aggregate that information, oftentimes, as much as I hate to admit it, it's still about exporting it and combining it in an Excel sheet every month. And that is something that I do every month. I don't look forward to doing it every month, but oftentimes I don't know how else to get the data views that I want. We're still a relatively small company, so we don't have a BI data team that can only be looking at marketing tasks. So it's really, we're kind of on our own there. We're self-sustainable, or we need to be self-sustainable.
Okay, great. And well, then lastly, Ian, I mean, you have a lot of experience already in the marketing world, but what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
I think it's about what I would tell myself and what I would tell everybody starting their career in marketing is think of marketing as a business function. And what I mean about that is marketing needs to be as closely tied to revenue as possible. Don't think about marketing as a way only to be creative or as a way of just producing content or as a way of kind of being siloed out here, generating leads. You really have to, everything that you're doing needs to be measured and stacked against how much pipeline and how much revenue are you driving. And the marketers that can come up with creative campaigns that actually drive a revenue impact will also be the marketers that are most successful. And I think for a while, I didn't understand that as a young person who just kind of liked writing and, reading blog posts.
All right. A lot like that advice there for our listeners. And well, we are coming to the end of the show here, Ian, today. But before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. Say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing they should remember about Kenjo?
The Kenjo is, and now we're primarily focused in Germany, yeah? So for German companies, Kenjo is the best app to manage your deskless workforce. There are other solutions on the market that can do pieces of what we do. There are HR software solutions. There are obviously communication apps. There's also shift planning apps. But we are really the only mobile-first solution built specifically for these industry verticals in Germany.
Definitely important. And for our listeners, you could always check them out at kenjo.io, digital HR and shift planning for your deskless workforce. Ian, thank you so much for being on with us today here at Pathmonk Presents. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Ian.
Thanks very much. It was fun.